by Creighton now. We'll take an opening statement from Coach Servais, and then we'll have questions for the student athletes, and then let them go and have questions for Coach Servais. Coach, ready when you are.
Well, obviously I'm very pleased with how we played in all three areas tonight. You know, we beat a very good team, a dangerous team in this ballpark with as many extra base hits and home runs that they had coming in. So I thought, you know, we did a lot of what we thought we could do. But I was just pleased with our pitching to hold a team like that to 4 runs. Obviously our offense was really, really good tonight, and we didn't make any mistakes defensively. So we beat a really good club. At times we dominated a really good club, and we're anxious for tomorrow.
Questions for the student athletes?
Yeah, I guess for Will or Nolan, obviously coming in with the way this ballpark plays, Kansas was favored because of, you know, what their offensive numbers look like. What was your guys' approach offensively, and also trying to, you know, neutralize them when they did kind of barrel some balls up and track them down?
I think we kind of kept the same approach we always have all season. I mean, that one inning we had multiple line drives in the gaps, line drives up the middle. So I don't think we changed much, and shout out to our pitchers for keeping the ball with good height and in the zone. I mean, they got a couple home runs, but they were only solo shots, and that had 1-2 run. But they did a good job of not putting runners on and giving them free bases, so that was really good.
Yeah, we definitely talked about that pregame, knowing that that's what their offense thrived on. But like Nolan said, we didn't change anything. You know, our bats were really hot in the Big East tournament, and we definitely carried that into today. And like Nolan said, it was a great job by our pitchers to really get that leadoff batter out most of the time and to limit the damage that they did have.
Nolan 3 for 4, a single shy of the cycle with 2 walks. What did the ball look like coming out of the pitcher's hand tonight?
Yeah, it felt great the whole game. I mean, the first AB I went down 2 strikes pretty quickly, and then was able to barrel ball to left center, and I feel like every time I'm able to barrel ball to the off side of the field, I'm pretty set for the rest of the game. And, I mean, I might not have got a hit over there for the rest of the game, but it still kept my sights on straight.
Really, for Nolan, for Will, for either of you guys, just that 6th inning is really kind of where things kind of came alive. Just what kind of went well for you guys in that frame? What were you taking advantage of? And just, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just feeding off each other. You know, when we find a way to get that leadoff batter on, and then keep building on that. You know, we definitely feed off each other's energy, and you know, when one guy gets going, we all get going, and we feel the energy from the guy in front of us, the guy behind us, and the guys on the bench. And you know, once we get hot, we stay hot. And for us to, you know, have a big inning like that and really pull away, that's something that we're gonna learn from and keep doing that into tomorrow.
And Ian coming in relief and really shutting down a good offense. Just what was, I guess, working for you against their offense? What did you guys kind of notice about their hitters kind of coming into tonight?
We kind of preach just throwing strikes and getting out. So I just tried to go up there, throw as many strikes as I could. And once you get a lead, you have to do that more often. And yeah.
I know you guys had to move on quickly with a tough game tomorrow, but can you guys just talk about the significance of the game? Most of you guys on this team have never been to an NCAA tournament, so to be able to play in this tournament, to be able to get a win like this, especially in Ed's last season, can you just kind of talk about that moment?
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, the past 4 years I've been working for this every single year. I mean, it's finally awesome to make a regional and then win our first game in the regional. It's awesome against a really good team, and we're definitely looking forward to tomorrow against an even better team. But we just know we can compete with any other team on the other side of the field, so like I said, we're really looking forward to tomorrow.
I think it's really important for us to just be where our feet are and just take in the moment. You know, we're at a great atmosphere. Tomorrow is going to be a crazy game against the host. And so to just, you know, feed off their crowd, feed off our fans. You know, we traveled deep, which was awesome. And just enjoy the moment and be with each other.
Will, have you ever hit a ball that far that you did to open the game?
Maybe once or twice in BP, but that was awesome, definitely. I was talking a lot with Kingston before this week, and he said, you know, the ball flies if you really get into one. And, you know, I went up there with a simple approach and got a pitch that I liked and put a good swing on it. And, you know, that was enjoyable for sure.
And then for anybody who wants to take it, how much has Kingston been a help this weekend? Obviously, he was with South Carolina for a long time in the SEC. Just how much has he helped, you know, set y'all up for the regional?
I mean, I think he set us up, you know, all year. He came onto this staff, him, Current, and Mole, all these new coaches coming in, and, you know, we didn't know what to expect in the beginning, but you know they've taken us under their wings, and they've been great leaders and role models for us, and you know nothing but respect for those guys, and they've brought so much to this club, and we definitely would not be here without those coaches.
Ian, Nolan's leadoff triple kind of got squandered right before that big inning. What was going through your head as you kind of came out for that shutdown frame after you guys missed that opportunity?
I just tried to go out there. I knew I had to. It was a big shutdown inning, and that's all I was trying to do is just get 3 outs, get back in the dugout, let them hit again because we're swinging it so well. Yeah.
Any more questions for Mr. Mayor?
Yeah, I'm just curious for Will, watching this dude do his thing tonight was kind of like an introduction to the college baseball world of sorts because of the regional stage. What's it like kind of having him in the 3-hole as a run producer and a table setter for, you know, the second half of the lineup and doing what he does?
I mean, I don't think we have a weak spot in our lineup, and definitely Nolan being in the 3-hole. I mean, he's our guy. He's been our guy all year. You know, ever since I stepped foot on this campus, you know, he's been the dude, and he showed that again tonight, and he's going to keep doing it for the rest of the year. So he's a great guy to have in the lineup for sure.
Fellas, great job tonight. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, I'm great. Good luck, Coach.
All right, questions for Coach?
I mean, I'm not really sure what's left for you to say about number 1 over there, but, I mean, his jersey's filthy. He hits a homer. He's got a triple. He's setting the table. He's driving runs in. What did you make of Nolan rising to the occasion?
He's a really good player. So when you have good players, nothing surprises you. You know, you forget about 2 or 3 catches he made in left center field. And his speed, his speed is just, that may be the thing I enjoy the most, is when he gets out and runs. Like when he hits a triple or when he runs down 2 or 3 of those balls. Off the bat, they look like extra base hits, and he catches them waist high. You know, he's got that difference-making speed that we don't really appreciate as much as we should. But he's just an outstanding player, and even an outstanding young man too. So it's been an honor to be around him for 4 years, and nothing he does on the field surprises me. He's got a bright future. You'll see him on TV someday. Besides in college, if you flip it on, he'll be out there.
Have you decided who you're going to be starting at pitcher tomorrow, or is that still kind of TBD?
We kind of know, but I don't want to announce it tonight.
And then just obviously that 6th inning, like I asked them, just where things kind of came alive for you. Is there anything in particular that stands out about that frame, or just what kind of worked?
Well, momentum is a big part of the game. I don't care what sport you're talking about. And when we get this offensive momentum going, we put up a lot of big innings this year. You know, 5, 6, 7, 8-run innings. They're not easy to do, but this team maybe thrives on momentum more than most. So when they start feeling it, you know, it's tough to get them out. I don't care what he did the previous 2 or 3 at-bats. Those hitters are tough. So, you know, young people thrive on momentum. I wish we could carry over some for tomorrow, but we know that's not possible. But tonight in that inning, that's what it was all about, momentum.
And then speaking of tomorrow, obviously you're playing against the hosting team. Just what do you know about Arkansas? What makes them dangerous? And yeah.
Well, I've seen them on TV a couple different times. You know, they're on TV quite often with their Thursday night games in the SEC. So, and I know Coach Van Horn. You know, Coach was at Nebraska when I started at Creighton. So we go way back. And obviously it's a very offensive club. I know we're going to see a really good left-hander tomorrow. I would assume that that's who they're going to throw. So we're going to see a little different pitching tomorrow night than we did tonight. Probably a little bit more athleticism on the base paths than what we saw tonight. So we're going to have to do a better job of focusing on a running game. We didn't have to focus so much on that tonight. So they're a well-rounded team. Some people think they're the most rounded team in the country. I can't say that because I don't have enough to compare it with, but I can tell you this much. We're anxious to get to that environment tomorrow. And I think with a veteran team that we have, the environment won't faze us. Now, the competition is going to be outstanding, but the environment won't affect these guys at all.
I mean, you talked throughout the week about how excited you were for the possibility that you could play Saturday night against Arkansas. I guess first part of that is, why were you so kind of anxious to get into that game, obviously, besides the obvious part? And then the second part is like, what do you think is that you like about your team in that environment that you think they can handle that stage when they get to it?
Well, obviously, you have to go through Arkansas if you want to advance. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. And I think these players have earned the right to be in that atmosphere tomorrow night. They've earned the right. You know, they got 42 wins. They've won a lot of games on the road. We haven't seen quite the environment we're going to be in tomorrow yet, but they're ready. And that's what I told them after the game. You have earned the right to be in that situation tomorrow. So I don't want you to think about it too much tonight. I want you to enjoy what you did today. But tomorrow when you wake up, you'll be excited for this opportunity. You know, all you want as a player is an opportunity. And we have an opportunity tomorrow night.
I guess Ian's outing kind of gets lost in the shuffle, but, you know, 4 innings and especially coming back out after the long inning, just how important is that to set you up for tomorrow?
Yeah, that's exactly what it did. It gave us a really good chance tomorrow. You know, so if we're burning a lot of our bullpen tonight, you know, advantage Arkansas. But we have all our guys there that we want available tomorrow night. So not only do we get a chance to play a quality team like Arkansas, but we get a chance to play them with some guys. And sometimes you play these games, you don't have your bullpen rested, you don't have your starting pitcher that you want out there. We got everything lined up for it to be an interesting game tomorrow night. So, but we'll let you know the starting pitcher later on. But we don't want to tip our hand too quickly here.
Well, I guess what do you make of? I mean, Tate kind of broke the dam in the 6th, excuse me. Just because you guys had kind of left some runners on up to that point, maybe some missed opportunities there that maybe could have flung the game in the other direction. How big was just Tate's knock to kind of just settle everything in and get the offense really rolling?
You know, some players have a knack for that, and Tate does. If you remember, he got a big hit in the final game of the conference tournament, right? They gave us a 4-run lead, and we needed it desperately. Or I guess a 5-run lead at that point. But Tate has a knack for coming up big in those situations. So if you look at his average, you say, you know, he's had an okay year. And if you look at some of the other aspects of Tate, he's a great defender, and he's one of the guys you want up in that situation. He just knows how to put the ball in play. He's a really good competitor, and he never backs away from those kind of situations. So, again, I'm just glad Tate's healthy, man. He's had a rough time of it here, staying healthy. It's so fun to watch him play every day and knowing that he's healthy, because last year he wasn't.
You haven't gotten one of these openers in since 2011. I know you're kind of tired of talking about the last ride and all that, but I mean, what's it mean to you personally to start off on the right foot? And as you talked about, the players earning the opportunity, you know, for yourself to get to go up against Arkansas and Fayetteville against, you know, a guy you've coached against for a long time. You know, it's gonna be a special kind of night.
Yeah, I want it to be special for the players, you know. But if you have any hope of advancing through this regional, I think you better win the first game. And I think the players knew that. We didn't have to tell them. That's one thing about a veteran team. You don't have to tell them all the things you would maybe a younger club. They knew the importance of this game, and I think they showed that tonight. And they'll show it tomorrow, too. Like I said yesterday, we're not interested in losing the game. Tomorrow night, we're going to force Arkansas to beat us. And if they do, we forced KU to beat us tonight. They weren't able to. We'll see what Arkansas can do tomorrow.
Any more questions for Coach? Coach,
Great.
we'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks, guys.